concealed weapon, unconstitutional, restrictive. Joining us now to discuss this and with the implications on not only New York, but 6 other states, former Green Beret Florida Congressman Michael Waltz, who we used to pay you to carry a gun. In New York, they're saying you have a Second Amendment right. How big a deal is this?
Well, it's a huge deal, Brian. I think people need to understand the laws went in place back in like 1911, and they were intended to keep people of color from having easy access to guns back then. So we actually have left-leaning minority representation groups saying, look, this is actually a win for people to be able to get their concealed carry license and protect themselves, particularly with crime spiking all over the nation and spiking in underserved neighborhoods.
Senate's come up with a bipartisan bill. They've gotten 15 senators to vote on it, on some type of gun legislation. First time since 1993. A lot of it I think you agree with. More money for social services, more money for mental health, more money for school security. But I imagine you seem to have a problem with the red flag law and how it's implicated. How do we do that and stop the next attack before it happens?
Yeah, so I could get behind all those other issues, hardening of schools and addressing mental health, but I could not get behind a blank check out to states like Massachusetts, New York, California, to go after people's Second Amendment rights and basically backdoor it through these red flag laws. You have to have due process, Brian. Has to come from law enforcement, has to go to a judge, and people have to be able to make their case, not someone's ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend that just lobbies out some type of accusation.
What are you guys doing?
Issue with it.
Congressman, what are you doing in Florida? Didn't you guys have more restrictive laws?
Yeah, in Florida, actually, all of those due process pieces are in place. But the problem with the federal legislation is it just literally sends checks out to the states. And I'm not confident states like Massachusetts or California will protect people's right to defend themselves.
The other major story is abortion. The President of the United States has spoken about it. Roe v. Wade is overturned. I saw that you tweeted you're obviously in support of this. The president went out of his way to blame the 3 Supreme Court justices that Donald Trump put in place. Your thoughts on that? Yeah,
of course he's going to do anything he can to link everything he can to Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, I think it's worth repeating, there is no federal law on abortion. So Roe versus Wade, the courts are supposed to comment on the law. And there is no law. And the court totally overstepped the case. I think this is the right decision. And at the end of the day, the states will get to decide. And this is protecting the rights of the unborn. They have rights too. And, Brian, it puts these things back in the hands of the voters. If you have issue with it one way or another, make your voice heard at the ballot box with your state legislators.
Congressman, you and I, you're the guy who fights the wars. I have not taken my eye off the ball when it comes to Ukraine and Russia. I see Russia on the offensive but playing a massive toll. In the big picture, do you want me to bring you to sanctions? The sanctions on Russia have not strangled that country like they should. What happened?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, the Russians are grinding away, and as long as oil and gas prices are as high as they are, as long as Biden's war on American energy is in place, Putin's going to have all the cash that he needs to be able to continue to pump resources into this war. Listen, the Chinese have imported 50% more Russian oil just the last year. For every European bank that's backed away, a Chinese bank has stepped in. And the ruble, the Russian currency, is actually in a better place now than it was pre-invasion. So for all the tough talk from Biden about the toughest sanctions ever, they failed. The Russian economy is completely recovered.
One thing, the Ukraine wins one-on-one battles, the artillery they lose, but they're about to get a new missile system. Could you tell the country, tell our country what their country just got from us?
Yeah, this is a long-range rocket system that can fire upwards of 200 miles. Of course, Biden tapped the brakes on that and gave them the shorter range version of only 40 miles. So once again, he's $1 late and a day short in what he's providing the Ukrainians. But this will help. It'll help them take out some Russian artillery. It's just, can we get it to them fast enough? Can we get them trained up on it to make a difference?
Yeah, and we do want to talk about the wokeism going on in our military academies. We'll have to put that for another time because of the breaking news. Congressman Michael Waltz, always great.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, coming up.